Welcome back to Living with Fibro and PSA, Felicia and Frankie's Way, episode number 24. Standing in the middle of the mess. Hey, my sweet friends, come on in. Sit on down. Come on in. Sit down with me for a little bit. I hope your guys' Christmas and New Year's held at least a little peace. Mine was full. Full house, full heart, full on chaos. And as you can tell, I think I'm getting a bit of a cold. With my husband's surgery so close to the holidays, I had made the choice to step back and be present. So we had 27 people in this tiny little house of ours. And we did Christmas and we played cards late into the night. We were laughing, having a good old time, holding on to the memories, making those new ones, and, wishing the ones that we were not with, they were definitely missed and definitely felt. So I've been quiet the last few weeks, not because I wanted to disappear, but because life required my full on attention. Between the holidays and caregiving for my husband and everything that came along with the surgery, I needed to be there. I needed to focus on my husband, and I needed to be at home focusing with my family. So today, I hope y'all can forgive me for that, but I am here to catch y'all up on what's been going down, because let me tell you guys, this season, it collided all at once. All right, disclaimer, y'all. Let's a quick check in real quick before we jump in. Everything I share here comes from my own personal experience with chronic illness, POTS, fibromyalgia, and psoriatic arthritis, aka Felicia and Frankie, my very uninvited long-term guest, pain in my booties. I am not a doctor, nurse, or a medical wizard, just a woman walking this road and telling it like it is. Nothing I share is meant to replace medical advice, so please always talk with your healthcare provider before changing anything with your treatments, meds, or care plan. This space is about community, real talk, faith, laughter when we can manage it, and tears when we need them. Knowing that you're not walking this journey alone is huge, but I am just here sharing my journey with you guys, the messy, the meaningful, and everything in between. The week that everything collided. So the week of Christmas, we had all kinds of like last minute pre-op appointments. And so the last few weeks have just been about basically being in survival mode. My husband had back surgery and he had a big rod and fusion put in. So, so the upcoming weeks, we had a lot of running back and forth. You all have to remember we're an hour away from the hospital. So, it was crazy. And it meant a lot of pre-op appointments running around like a squirrel on espresso. We had to move some furniture around and set up chairs and spaces so that he could rest and heal and not be miserable, and of course, not have it all fall back on me to move big heavy furniture. It was a lot. It was a whole production. Needless to say, surgery landed on New Year's Eve, and yes, we rang the New Year's in at the hospital. At 11:45, I just remember looking at the clock. I said, I'm just going to lay here for a minute. I was out cold, like I had been tranquilized. But we started, to be fair, we started the morning out at like 3:30. So it was a very, very long day. And he was asleep too. So there was no countdown, no fireworks, just two exhausted people, very quiet. Happy New Year's, I guess. So happy 2026 to you guys. I am praying for tranquil and healthy years for you guys. But here we are. We're here in New Year's, new back, a whole new lot of prayers that this surgery gives him relief that he's been chasing for years. I hope that this will work for him. Honestly, though, the hospital being nearly empty, though, oh my gosh, it was so nice. It was amazing. There was no crowds, there was no chaos, no shoulder to shoulder bumping into people. Because Felicia and Frankie, they hate crowds and germs and surprise. I did come prepared. I had my mask and my gloves, I had my hand sanitizer. I was not about to bring any extra illnesses home from the hospital. And I will have you know that, yes, I may be sick, but it was not from the hospital. It was from going to my family or my rheumatologist office. I went in there, got samples because my shots have to have a PA. So stupid. Happy New Year's. We got new PAs on everything. So obviously they didn't get my shot in on time, and so I had to go Thursday to get it. So I have been home for over a week from the hospital, and I was fine. I went to go get the shot, came back, and I sound like this the very next. Well, that night I had a sore throat. So, hate that. I so hate that. But anyway, I brought so much crap with me to the hospital. It was ridiculous. But I brought an electric blanket to lay on to keep, Frankie from getting too cold. Felicia, she don't like that. She likes that super heavy blanket for warmth. And so I did bring that for the weight especially. And of course, the squishy pillows. I had my TENS unit. I had my whole medical bag of arsenal with me, of course. But and I did stay in the room the whole entire night. I didn't wander off. I didn't mingle. Hospital food, though, oh gosh, still tastes like regret and poor decisions. Oh, ugh. Those potato wedges tasted like what I would think tar would taste like. Definitely smelled like it too, because they were seasoned, and I thought, oh, these are gonna be so good. No, it was like, yeah, despair and maybe a little bit of rubber with it. But anyway, I was glad I came prepared with snacks. I brought me some peanut butter sandwiches. Yeah, because and chips and, whatever else. But I had a feeling I was going to need those extras. And thank God I did, because let me tell you, yeah, totally, totally saved me. New Year's Eve in the hospital room. Let's talk about the surgery details for a second, because, yeah, it is not a joke. 3 bulging discs, 1 herniated so bad that it was nearly severing a nerve. He had a nerve that was impinged. He had one of them was calcified in with the disc, and it was trapped in there in that nerve. So, yeah, they had to deal with that. The surgeon said it was a fight, but he finally got it done, and he said he's going to be very sore because, not because of the rods, but because I had to wrestle that nerve out. But anyway, he didn't disappoint because, yeah, he was definitely in a lot of pain. 2 rods, 4 screws, bone grafts mixed with medical cement. He had uh, cadaver bone mixed with his, titanium hardware, spacers, all the good high tech stuff. And, he told my husband that recovery was going to be rough. And let me tell you, he was not even joking. But I hear that the recovery and adaptability is much better than how it used to be. I have a cousin that she had to have major back surgery on her back numerous times. And she's got like the old rods and screws, the ones that you have to have the card for the medical detectors because they go off. And she cannot do a lot of bending because the hardware that she has is not made for that. So, yeah, you can, like with a titanium, like they do it a little different, which was kind of cool. But, bending will be definitely different for sure. But yeah, anyway, but she's got a lot of pain that comes with hers. So I feel like her legs, maybe, not hers, but, legs would be super strong because, you would have to do all those squats since you couldn't bend. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd have some massive calves. Might be a bonus there. Anyway, I just feel so bad for her. God love her. Love you, cuz. But anyway, she lives in Arizona, very where it's very warm. She can't do cold crap like we're dealing with. It sucks. But anyway, and then day 3 was the worst because his pain was through the roof and the irritability was at Olympic levels. Let me tell you, because of the pain and the inability to do things for himself, like get his own coffee, which led to a massive coffee spill. There may have been some regrets there. But we're managing. I mean, he's doing so good, and I'm so proud of him. He gets up and he walks, and he's, doing the best he can do. And, but let's be real. He's got 3 great big holes in his back. They are stapled, and yeah, they just, anyway, he's doing good. So I'm proud of him. Caregiving while chronically ill. Meanwhile, Felicia and Frankie, they see all the stress that I'm going through and they're like, oh, you're going to do some caregiving? Aw, that's so cute. Flare. Totally, let's flare. My calves are cramping like they're in a vice. My hips on fire. They hurt. They literally hurt. My left hip actually came out of socket while I was mid-walk. Thank God I was in our bedroom and fell on the bed. So that was intense. Oh my gosh. And then as quick as it popped out, it popped back in. And oh my gosh. Yeah. And of course, I'm still having issues with these ribs of mine. Definitely. We're getting ready to do our 3-month with the family doctor, and do not think that I am not asking for that first thing. And then my knees are doing things that they have never done. Like they're super, super, super sore. Like they haven't been this sore in so long. But like they have a different feel to them. Like I don't know. It's a different feel that I've not dealt with. And then of course, my good old back. We'll throw that in there for good measures. Why not? Because, oh, why don't I just say my whole freaking body hurts. My neck's killing me. I think it's this crazy weather we've got. It's been in the 60s, getting ready to drop back down into sub-zeros. Oh, gosh, I hate winter. I hate winter. The whole back and forth thing gets me. That's what gets me in so much trouble. But on top of everything, I'm here. I'm still showing up. Because when you live with chronic illnesses, you don't get the luxury of time off or off days. I mean, you calculate suffering days because, you're constantly weighing what has to be done now versus what can wait without everything falling apart. And then, we also have a temporary housemate. My brother's been staying with us. So he's been helping out while my husband heals. And oh my goodness, thank God for him because your girl here is running on freaking fumes. I get 4 hours of medicated sleep and, pure determination. That's what I'm running on right now. So through it all, my husband's walking and he's healing and he's pushing through the pain like a champ, and I am proud of him. But he's got a 3+ month ahead of recovery time ahead of him. So, when it comes to your back, I don't believe that healing is ever as simple as the timeline, because I know with my neck, it wasn't. They're like, oh, 6 weeks, you'll be able to go back to work. We are 5 years out, and I'm still in intense pain with my neck. So, yeah, I don't know. The surgeon said his nerve pain could take up to a year to improve, and whatever remains after that's likely permanent. And so having, the next surgery a couple years, that long ago, I still have that. So my prayer goes to every single day that he's spared from that long-term pain, because, yeah. And let me tell you, your girl, I ain't been right since we got home from the hospital. So I'm trying. I literally am trying. I just grin and bear it and just go. It's all you can do, So much stuff that has to be done. And, that man stands up and takes care of me on days that I am at my worst. So, of course, I'm going to show up for him over and over. The fight finally ends, you guys. Oh my gosh, I forgot. On top of everything else, I mean, I didn't forget, but I had my disability hearing on the 5th, 4.5 years of this back and forth and back and forth and 4 long, exhausting years. And so I went in front of the same judge, the one I freaked myself out with because I had looked his statistics up and I just kind of had given up on it. I prayed about it. I had a bunch of my friends pray for me. We did a prayer circle and everybody was calling me the night before. We were doing prayers. And so this time, I got it. Yeah, he acknowledged that I was not getting any better and that I was consistent with all my appointments and compliant with doctors, going to those appointments and taking my medication, and that he was sorry that I was still searching for the right combination and that I've been doing this without any success. And he said, I'm going to go ahead and honor this with a yes. You deserve this. And I literally broke down. I cried. Makes me want to cry now. Yeah. Yeah. Relief poured out of me, like, years of stress and fear and wondering how we were going to survive. All of that's been lifted. God showed up. I prayed. That's all there is to it. But that peace and that security, it matters more than people realizes. Especially when Felicia and Frankie have already taken so much away from me and my family. You know what I mean? Yeah. Still standing, still grateful. So, yeah, I've been quiet, kind of scattered all over the place, a little foggy. And it's not because I don't care. It's just things in life got so heavy. I had to take this time off. Felicia and Frankie got loud. And, I'm learning again how to pace myself right now, especially with everything that's going on, and not to have that guilt. If you're walking through recovery or caregiving and you have disability battles, or you're just trying to survive in a body that doesn't cooperate, I mean, I see you. I get you. You're not weak. I'm not weak. We're not failing. We're doing the absolute best that we can do with what we've been handed and what we've been given. We're not giving up. We're just refiguring things. Things are settling down a bit at home now, so I definitely am going to get back to posting weekly. So don't you all forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for staying here. Thanks for being so understanding. Thanks for being a part of this little corner where the truth is here, even when it's ugly and it's messy. Felicia and Frankie, they can run their mouths. They can do that all they want, but they don't get the final say. I appreciate each and every one of you guys more than you know. And as always, be gentle with yourselves, and I will see y'all next week. Right here, Lamentations 3:22-23. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Also, by the way, I don't know if anybody was interested. I had a couple people say something about merch, but I have this design that I've come up with. It's a 20-ounce tumbler, so made with a whole lot of love and a heart. So if you are interested, hit me up, let me know. But other than that, I will see you all next week. Bye.